What's up, everybody? This is Natedaman here, and today I'm gonna do a little bit something different. So, well-known fact: if you follow at Natedaman3 on Twitter, you'll know I've been my high school's mascot for about a year and a half now. Now, I didn't get any training. I just kind of put on a suit and went out onto a court. So I thought I'd finally look at, a mascotting guide and see, and just kind of like give you my experience, see how real this all is. Okay, so the golden rule for mascots. Mascots should never speak. I would agree with that. No one can hear you anyways. Like, if you do speak, like, they will not be able to hear you. Like, tried talking to my friends in the suit before. It doesn't work. So this is 100% correct. It's not worth it. um, this is a valid. So, okay, common mascot gestures. Learn how to express fear, surprise, and disappointment. These are all, yeah, I agree. This is all like really important stuff to learn. Like I really had like the oh no, oh head going on, or like the just, so yeah. Yeah, it's something you gotta learn. Okay, waving. You use your entire arm. Maybe. I mean, I just like, I'm not like going that'd be looking crazy. Bring your hands up to the mascot's mouth and nod your head forward. What? No, that is not how I would do it. But okay, okay. Be gentle with hugging. I'd agree with that. You could really gotta be careful. You're not trying to get you're not trying to get attacked here. That's a fair point. I'm scared. Run away. Cover your eyes and shake your knees. Oh, okay, yeah, I like the whole like lifting a hand to peek out. It's like I quite like that. Yeah, actually, that's pretty good. Uh, I love you. Point to yourself and use both hands to draw a heart. I've never had to do that. Even if I did, I don't think it would get the message across very well. The aw shucks, yeah, the little sweep kick. Okay, I can get behind that. I love me a good sweep kick. um, just like darn, that guy missed the basket for the eighth time in a row. Way to go, buddy. So that's a fair point to say. Tips for mascots at sporting events. Let's see how good this is. Is when your team scores, make sure to do a big jump and rally the crowd with two thumbs up. No, I mean that could be fine for like. I think if that's like a basketball game, I think that's a valid take. If it's a football game, and you score a touchdown. Like you gotta hit like a dance or something. My go-to was whenever we scored, I just hit the gritty. It was easier that way. But um, so that and then the whole like whenever like the opposing team scored, I just kind of went like just like really really like childish look, just like man, not again. It was really funny to do that when we were down by 20. um, Participation. If the mascot is to participate in the game in any way, then you need to take the time to make sure you can perform safely and effectively. Okay, so I'm not sure what they mean by participation. I never got to suit up and go play for a game. Although at halftime, one of the things I did do was play with the children on the basketball court. I never did that for football, obviously, because that would be a disaster. But yeah, I mean, participating in the game, I got yelled at by the refs one time. That was fun. A little stoppage in play there during a free throw. I got a little bit antsy behind the backboard. That didn't go so well. Mascots and parades. I've done this before, but it wasn't as my high school mascot. It was actually as a minion. So I have other experiences besides just my high school. So I've never been on the float, but off the float, we didn't have any music going, so that wasn't a problem. I did have like the Despicable Me soundtrack in my ear because just to get in the mood, but But yeah, you don't. It was like a 2 mile parade. It was like a long parade, and like when those giant inflatable suits, like those things are hard. So tips for meet and greets. This should be good. I mean, it really just depends on the mascot costume. Like I had a very like I don't know. I had a very unique mascotting style. Like I was like sassy to the other team, but like, and I kind of like got in their face a bit, not like too aggressively. Like I never walked up to them and was like, but like I did kind of be like you, and like my teams were cool with me. My teams actually loved me as the mascot, but you it's not there's not really a right way for mascot personality. But there's definitely wrong ways, but I don't think there's one single right one. Yeah, adults and teens, we definitely there's definitely a different how do you call it, inflection than dealing with children. Like children, you're trying to be like nice towards, like in like gentle with for sure. Like adults and teens, you can like like shake them around a little bit if you not actually, but like you don't have to be like you really just can just go for the yeah, let's go team. I had this one guy at a football game before the game. One of these guys was like jumped on my shoulder. I was like, "Let's go, mascot!" That was just so cool. Yeah, I've never seen someone more hyped for a high school game in my life. Much heck, even for like an NFL game, I haven't seen anyone that excited. So like, play into it. If they're like a bit slow, a bit quieter, like yeah, just go a little bit slower. It's not hard. But like, you have to match the energy is what I do. So yeah, not awful advice here. Our top mascot and performance tips: stay in character at all times. I don't think you have to do that. I think it's funnier when you break character and you do something you probably shouldn't do. um, just be like, I think it adds character to the mascot more than anything. If you just break character once in a while and like let your emotions be raw. Like if y'all get like a nonsense flag, you can just be like, bro, what the heck. um, Always be friendly, courteous, and animated. Yeah, obviously. You don't want to be mean. I mean, how's this? You don't want to be too mean. Um, Never speak or make noises. I talk to myself in the mascot suit all the time. Like when there's not people around me, like at the football game. Like I was down on the field and like they were up in the stands, the student section. So there is that. So I mean, you can make noise. It's not like anyone's gonna hear you anyway. Do not remove any part of your costume in public. I can agree with that. The one time I did do that in like during a game was at the end of the game. We had won a state semi. It was a state quarterfinals game, and I took my helmet off for the end of that game just because it was a state quarterfinal. That was my second to last game, just because we got knocked out in the semis, which I also went to. But there is that. Do not smoke, eat, or drink while in the costume or partially dressed. No, I drank water all the time. At halftime, I didn't take the full suit off. I like took the helmet off and like drank water. It's not that big a deal, really. Obviously, I mean I don't smoke, obviously, so that wasn't a problem. It was fun. One time, one of these guys I actually knew, but he didn't know it was me. He came up, offered me a piece of baguette. I happily took it, and I like shoved it under. I was like stuffing the baguette. Probably not the most sanitary thing I've ever done, but it was bread. I wasn't gonna say no to bread. Do not see be entering or exiting restrooms. I mean, duh. There's been a few times where I've been like, man, I gotta take a pee, but I never did. um, like there should be a designated spot for like inside the building that you can like get away from everyone. Do not show temper, anger, or frustration. No, I think you definitely have to show some of that. Like especially for sports games, I think that's definitely something that needs to happen. Like when your team's like getting blown out 30-0 to your big rival, I think it's fair to show some frustration there, and like it makes you seem more in tune with the crowd, and do not scare or intimidate people. Yeah, you don't intimidate people, but like it's funny to like appear behind people and just be like boo, but like it's always like, whoa, hey look, the mascot appeared. I'm just like, yeah, it's funny. I'm not. I don't need a training program. I already went through a training program. Let's look at some safety tips. This should be good. I'm curious. Escort slash handlers. I never had one of those. Actually, I did one time. Like, I had a couple of my buddies come and like walk me through a little bit, but I never had like a designated person who was like, "Hey, this guy's gonna follow you around." Like, I was a lone wolf on this. Like, I didn't have any help. I just kind of had to like do it myself. And occasionally, someone would be like, one of the athletic department people would be like, "Hey, do you need help?" And I was just like, "Nah, I'm good." Sign language, yeah, you definitely learn to be more talk with your hands kind of thing. Like this is what like you gotta like make the initials of the school and such. You gotta be like yeah, uh, I'd be like yeah, finger gun. I love doing finger guns in the mascot suit. It's really funny. Schedule slash breaks. That's a thing of myth. I give the suits do get inherent. They do get hot. You get a situation called oven eye, is which like with mine. My helmet was mostly styrofoam, or something along those lines of that. So it got really hot in there, and I didn't have AC in there, So like I developed what's called oven eye, or that's what I call it. When like there's so much hot air in the mask, it all congregates around the top at your eyes, and then your eyes turn like bloodshot red. It's not. It's a like you look like you've been doing illicit substances by the end of it. But I didn't really take. I don't really take breaks during the football games, mostly because there's nowhere for me to take a break at. Because like your football games are about 2.5 hours long, high school level, and there's just no room for me to take a break, so I never really did. Um, Basketball games, I did take a break at halftime. Football games, they're colder. They're in the fall, all winter. This time around, most of the games were in early winter, in like October, November. So they're pretty cold by nature. But the Mascot is very warm. So football is actually really easy to go through without a break. Basketball is harder because you're inside and it's warmer in there than it would be in pretty much any point in football season except for early September. So I mean, yeah, a mascot in most meet and greet situations, the mascot is not in the costume for more than 3 minutes at a time. That's a lie. I go out like do basketball games. I start for half, which is like 45 minutes. I take a 10-minute break at halftime, which is how long halftime is, and I go back out, and it's another like hour for the second half of the game. So I mean, I don't think I mean, I'm pretty versed in being hot and dehydrated, so there is that. But yeah, I mean, it's not awful advice, but 30 minutes seems a bit excessive for me. But it really just depends on your suit, really, and how well ventilated and air conditioned it is. During Blake's drink pulling your water. Okay, so this might sound awful. Um, I didn't drink very much water on the day of the game. I hydrated after, not before or during, just because it's easier that way, and I feel lighter. And after and pro tip, you want to take it slow, because like you will after doing all that for like hours on end. When you drink water, your body's gonna like really not like it, and you're gonna get a bad stomachache for like 5 minutes. After that, it mostly goes away, but just be slow when you're rehydrating afterwards. Is what I'd say. Practice. Everyone in the promoting mascot should give it a test drive before the big show. Yeah, I didn't do that. I was just thrown out on a random basketball night. They were like, "Here's the suit. Have fun." So I ran. You're gonna make mistakes. It's just kind of how that goes. Start slow and build up to wearing the whole suit. Yeah. The hardest part is like I had like this sweater thing that doubled as like my arms, and like the pants were just like football pants, so they weren't very hard to maneuver in. The boots and the helmet were the hard parts because the boots had like a sandals built in that were too small for my for my feet. But like yeah, those took some getting used to, and the helmet was the obviously the hardest part because you have to adjust to not being able to really see. So I didn't really practice before. I just kind of like put the thing on and I just kind of walked out there. And obviously I did in fact run into a few people. That was kind of embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. Like you occasionally and I don't run into people that much. Like towards the end of my career, I think like this past basketball season, I mascot almost all the home games and I only ran into one person. And that was the first game back at basketball. I got really used to football, which is I have much more room to work in football than I do in basketball. So that's why. Um, and not a good fit. Not everybody is suited to be a mascot. Honestly, that's a completely valid take. Not everyone can be a mascot. It really takes someone who's like determined and really wants to do it. Like if you put a normal like fan and told them to go be the mascot, I don't think they do a very good job. You really take someone who just like needs to have fun with it. It doesn't need to be that deep, but you don't want to like embarrass the school or yourself either. So that's a fair point. Like if you're not feeling it, like you don't really like don't be the mascot. If your heart isn't in it, the crowd can tell. So yeah, definitely it's something that you really want to just like it's a personal choice.